You know I'ma pop my shit. I'm a motherfucking city girl. Yeah. Yeah. This the real one, baby.
Welcome back to another makeup video featuring me, myself, and I. So I toned my face with just a regular toner. It really don't matter. Just make sure your face is clean. And then I went in with the Bobbi Brown face base, and I tried my best not to edit out too much of this video because I feel like when I do makeup tutorials, I edit out too much. So now I'm just brushing up my eyebrows, and I was going to do my eyebrows first for some odd reason, but then I realized I didn't really want to do that. Those two concealers that I showed were the concealers that I used on my face, which everything will be listed in the description. And then after I let my primer dry down a little bit, I went in with that Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation in the shade 315. And I'm just using an e.l.f. face brush. They're really good face brushes, really cheap and affordable. Definitely recommend. I use them on me, myself, and my clients. Blending all of that out. I like to pat my foundation in for the most coverage. And I have to go over my nose twice because my nose gets really like cracky for some reason, no matter if I do a scrub or not. So now I'm going in with my concealers. I'm starting off with Golden because it's more closer to my skin tone versus Shortbread is the brighter concealer, but I put quite a bit of concealer, so you can mix them together or you can just apply one by one. I'm putting it in these areas that you see, and then I'm buffing the edges out, minus my chin. I just like to go ahead and blend that in, but pay attention to how I'm buffing the edges. I'm using the lightest touch because I want it to look seamless and not so harsh. Sometimes the harsh line by the eye can be cute, but it has to be done right. I just don't do it on myself. So buffing those edges out, and I was doing a TikTok while recording, trying to get double content. So talking to myself for real, because not too many people be on my TikTok. Sad eye. So blending that out up into my forehead, and normally I don't put concealer on my forehead because I blend out my nose concealer to my forehead, and that works best for me because I don't like too much on my forehead, especially when I'm wearing lace, because I don't want no lace on my makeup, which is why I take my baby hairs down, because I just didn't want that. So now you see I'm going in with Shortbread in kind of the same areas, and then I like to place my contour on my face and blend that out with a Morphe brush, which also will be in the description. And make sure if you're wearing lace, if you can lift your baby hairs up, lift them up, because I just hate lines of demarcation. I think that it just looks so tacky. I don't like that. So making sure to blend that out, and I'll be going back and forth with my foundation brush and that brush that I'm using right now, just so I can get a seamless blend. And you know, kind of self-explanatory, nothing harsh, no lines of demarcation. Blending out my nose contour again, my nose highlight, sorry. That is, like I said, the brighter concealer. So this one you kind of want to be a little more exact with where you blend that out, because depending on how bright you go, you don't want that all over your face, because then it's like, what's the point of the foundation, you know? Kind of too much product on the face. So going back in with my foundation brush and just blending out those lines where the contour was, so everything can look like skin. And I normally use a beauty blender on myself, but a brush gives you more coverage. A beauty blender is just easier for me to blend out my own concealer, but on my clients I use a brush, and I think it's kind of vital for you to learn how to use a brush on yourself. Gives more coverage. So again, going with that foundation brush and just doing everything over and over until I feel like everything's blended out. Now when I get to contouring my nose, I like a very snatched nose because I feel like my nose is pretty big. So I'm circling it into the front of my eyebrow, and I'll have to go back and redo this nose contour over because I got too invested in a TikTok conversation. So kind of be a little more precise than what I was being. But I use a bronzy shade to contour my face because I don't know, I just like the summery bronzy look on my skin tone. It just looks better to me versus using a gray undertone contour shade. Now, as you can see, I'm bringing the highlight concealer onto the side of my nose to give that illusion that it's really snatched. That helps with contouring your nose. It's like backwards contouring, reverse contouring. I knew it was a word for it, but it's like reverse contour when you reinforce the lighter colors instead of just using darker shades. So after I blended out the creases under my eyes, I went in with the Dermablend translucent setting powder with the same Real Technique setting brush. But on the other side, you'll see I'm going to use a triangle sponge like so. I was supposed to be using this to begin with to set my under eye, but I forgot that I had bought a new pack because I had ran out. They go so easily. But I also just found out that you can wash these and reuse them. So I think I'm gonna start doing that on my personal ones. So yeah, I kind of like this better. Like, I don't know, sometimes it don't work for me, but I kind of like this, the way it set my under eye better with using brushes. Normally when I'm using a beauty blender, I just use the beauty blender because it's easier, but I think I really like the triangle puff to set. But I'm using that translucent powder to set kind of everywhere on my face except where I contour, because I don't really go in with a pressed powder that's my skin tone. I feel like they're a little heavy to me. This specific translucent powder really helps me. I use it on all my clients. I think in every video that I'll ever do, you're definitely gonna see this product in the video. Normally I don't bake my face, but I wanted to see if this would help me with baking more because of the shape of it, because the brush, it kind of gives you a lot of fallout, versus this, the powder is going literally where you want it to go. So now I'm going in with my ColourPop bronzer. I use this, but I also use the Juvias Place Tan Bronzer Duo. They're really similar shades. I'm using a Morphe brush to put this on. The brush will be in the description. It's real lightweight, the bronzer and the brush. Just like dabbing that right on top of the bronzer that I had already put on my face, the cream. I really just want this to be set, and I wanted to reinforce that color. Whereas the translucent powder already kind of went on top of the cream bronzer, but it takes a little bit of the color away. So just reinforcing where that powder already was and bringing it a little bit closer to my under eye. And putting bronzer on the outer edges of your eyelid kind of helps with balancing the color all over, as well as putting it on the chin. Going in with my good old Juvia's Place Volume 4 blush. I like to use the lighter shade more towards going towards my mouth, like the apples of my cheek, versus the darker shade staying up there by my eyelid and kind of mixing them together. I like for my blush to kind of be right under my eyelid. As you can see, I was looking at it. Make sure you constantly looking at your face so it's blended. You don't want to walk out the house with an unblended face. It's not cute, girl. It's not cute. And as I've previously stated in one of my videos, placing a cream blush helps your blush to last longer throughout the day, that's why I put a lot of powder blush, because once I spray my face with setting spray, the blush kind of dims down, and you'll see me go back on top of that after the setting spray just to reinforce that color. After I use my Morphe continuous setting spray, I like to use a mini fan or anything to help it dry down, but I also like to pat it into my skin. That way it gives that skin kind of that Jayda look. Like I feel like Jayda Wayda makeup always looks like skin, and I don't want nothing cakey on my face unless we're just going for a super full coverage look, and I still don't want it to look cakey. So setting spray always helps me give that skin look. Now, I'm using Duo Lash Glue or Kiss Lash Glue, one of the two, on my eyebrows because I thought I had a good eyebrow product, but my eyebrows get to falling throughout the day. When I use eyelash glue, my eyebrows don't ever fall, but when you're ready to take this off, you have to use a oil-based makeup remover. You won't get it off with just soap and water, and sometimes you might even have to scrub your eyebrows, so use this at your own risk. But I'm just brushing them up for that feathered natural look. I don't really do my eyebrows for real, y'all. I think I explained that before. Doing my eyebrows is not something that I have just mastered yet. So going for the feathered look is kind of my style. Now I'm going in with a nude eyeliner. This one is literally damn near gone. Like I can't even tell y'all what brand it's from. I want to say Essence, but Urban Decay has a really good nude liner that I like to use on my clients. And the star of the show, my dirty eyeshadow palette, of course. I'm going in with the Makeup by Ariel. I want to say that's an eyeshadow brush. I see people use it for tons of different things, but I'm using the brown shade of that palette, and I'm putting that on my bare eyelid with no concealer. That's what gives that look that Jayda always has. Now, I will say you can tone the eyeshadow down and use like a brown shade, whatever you feel, but as long as you don't put concealer and you just put it on the bare skin, that's going to give that eye look that she always uses. So I'm circling that and kind of dragging it out under my brow and placing it under my eye as well, because once we put the lashes on, having the eyeshadow under your eye just helps everything pop and tie together. I'm taking a break from eyelash extensions right now because I feel like I don't have no real lashes no more, and I just don't like that. So now I'm going in to do my lip, and y'all know by now I love to overline my top lip. One day I'm gonna get lip fillers. I just gotta find the right person because I'm real scared. So anyways, going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Chai. Love this lip liner. It's like a brown mauve lip liner, and I normally use another one from them. I can't really think of the name, but I'll list that in the description as well. I'm doing a matte lip combo, but first we have to correct that lip liner because that's one thing that is going to show in pictures is a messed up lip. Correct that lip liner, girl. Then I'm going in with, I want to say 104 and 32 by Sephora matte lip collection. And then I'm going to let that dry down first and mix it all over. And then I'm going to go back on top with 32 to give a mauve look. So I went in with some eyelashes off of camera because I had to do promo for the brand. They're from Amazon. And then I went in with some highlighter on my nose. And there you have an everyday natural glam Jayda inspired.